It gives me great pleasure to introduce our honorary degree recipient, Dr. Paul Matz, to whom we award an honorary doctorate. Biochemist, visiting professor, researcher, and founder, Paul Matz is on a mission to eradicate preventable skin diseases through non-profit initiatives and education. He graduated from Cardiff University with a BSc in microbiology and a PhD in microbial biochemistry. In 1988, he began working at Procter & Gamble, where he would spend the next 36 years in skin research, developing products for some of the company's most iconic brands, including Olay and Max Factor. He retired in 2024 as Research and Development Vice President and a member of the Victor Mills Society, an honorary society reserved for the company's top technologists. Paul has a long history with University of the Arts London, starting in 1993 when he began teaching at London College of Fashion as an associate lecturer on the Cosmetic Science Diploma course. Paul states, "Little did I know that this was the start of a close relationship that would last the next 32 years. Professor Danka Tambaric developed the first UK university degree solely devoted to the cosmetics industry, the LCF Cosmetic Science BSc, which launched in 2000. I partnered with her, says Paul, and have continued to lecture and help guide the course ever since. In 2010, Paul was appointed visiting professor to the college. He adds, I am a strong believer that education is a passport to otherwise inaccessible opportunity, and am already following with immense pleasure the trajectories of those whom I've taught across my tenure at LCF. His passion for education led him to co-create the P&G Better Lives Awards, which help winning LCF postgraduate students jumpstart their research and careers. Alongside teaching at LCF, he was also appointed visiting professor to the London School of Pharmacy. In 2006, Paul was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of the Arts and a Fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry in 2012. He states, at heart, I am a creative soul, but have never perceived any conflict with my chosen career as a scientist. Instead, it's the joy of the open-ended scientific process, proposing a hypothesis, testing it objectively, and then being held accountable to the results. There's almost limitless creativity inherent in this process. He's authored and published over 65 peer-reviewed journal articles and delivered more than 150 keynote presentations at conferences worldwide. In 2012, he co-founded Action on Podo, an Ethiopian NGO that aims to eradicate podoconiosis, a devastating skin disease afflicting 1.5 million people. Since launching under Paul's leadership, the organization has successfully treated around 40,000 patients. When asked if he has any advice for graduating students, Paul has a practical tip he learned during his first year at Procter & Gamble while attending a time management course. Give your precious time only to things that are both urgent and important. As an inherently disorganized person and in a world where 1,000 voices call constantly for my attention, this has helped me prioritize my time, helping to maximize my impact and output ever since. I'm delighted to ask the Chair of Governors to confer the Honorary Doctorate of University of the Arts London on Dr. Paul Matz.
Well, amazing. Good afternoon, everybody. When I was informed of this award, I was genuinely flabbergasted. Whatever I have done to deserve this was never in service of recognition, rather just out of simple, passionate desire to give back somehow because I have received so much myself. Accordingly, I must therefore express my sincere gratitude to the university for recognizing me in this manner. It means more than you know, so thank you. When I was asked to say a few words, I thought long and hard about it. You'll be pleased to know I only have one point, and I will be succinct in making it. As many of you graduate here today, I want to pass on my sincere congratulations, but also my belief in the power of a word, one word, and that word today is yes. the power of yes. And indeed, if I read my citation back for my honorary award, all of the elements recognized are simply the result of saying yes. I remained the only person in my family ever to go to university. And so when in 1982 my biology teacher, Tim Snowden, suggested I apply for a degree in microbiology, I gave it about a minute's thought and said, yeah, okay. 3 years later, when my girlfriend, Ali, now my wife of 37 years, and she's up in a box today, up there, thank you. Maybe you recognize this student, she literally nursed me through my finals, and I sat there wondering what to do next when somebody told me about a tutorial fellowship in the biochemistry department that involved teaching medical students a few times a week, getting a salary, but getting to do a PhD at the same time. I said, yes, why not? I believe passionately that education is a passport to access that would otherwise be impossible. And my PhD helped me gain entry to the great old Procter & Gamble company and a career as a professional scientist that has now lasted 36 years. I think 6 years in, when my section head, Eric Spengler, asked me to write a scientific paper to support the launch of the world's first daily sun protection product that I'd helped develop, I gladly said, yeah, sure. And this was the start of a journey that's still going, guiding me to take part in both lead teams that developed what have become ISO international standards for testing sunscreen efficacy, the numbers that you see on the front of a pack of sunscreen. In a world, by the way, where today and tomorrow, 1 in 3 cancers diagnosed worldwide is a skin cancer induced by the sun. And then in that same year of 1993, a lady called Elaine Kerschel, who was the head of the diploma course for cosmetic science, put out a bit of a cry for help, for somebody to help teach skin biology and claim support and regulation of claims. And I thought about it, and although I was young in the industry, I said, yeah, sure, I'll come and help. And honestly, my memory of those times was trundling up to John Prince's Street on the train, getting the tube, getting my sandwiches at BHS, and then hurrying up to do 3 hours of lectures. I loved it. And by the way, what I love more is seeing the students from that course go out into the world and start to change history. Without that particular yes, I would not be here today. And then in 2010, when I was asked to give a presentation at a continuing medical education conference in Moshi in Tanzania, another of my heroes, Professor Terence Ryan, asked me, and I said, yes, I'll go. And it was at this meeting that I discovered another reason why I'm here on planet Earth, as I heard about the devastating skin disease podoconiosis, lower leg lymphedema, or elephantiasis for the first time, a disease that afflicts more than 1.5 million people in Ethiopia. A year later, I said yes again to an invitation to go to Ethiopia and see the disease for myself. And then I said a massive yes to my own tortured, broken heart to then set up an NGO in Ethiopia to help them. The incredible power of saying yes. Look, I'm not talking about being reckless. Sometimes the right answer is no. I'm talking about a posture of the heart where we say yes more often than we might otherwise say no, where we embrace opportunity, even if there are unknowns or risks. And so I encourage you, as you make your way out into the world, as you look around this world and all that's happening in it right now, and the opportunities that present themselves, perhaps silence that part of you that would naturally procrastinate, analyze, and inspect. And if the choice is not overtly stupid or reckless, then say yes. Why not? Follow your heart and not your head. Thank God I said yes to all the opportunities I just mentioned and more. It's why I'm here today. Very grateful and very thank you. very thankful. Thank you.